Welcome to Content Junkeez. Kind of been on a little bit of a break, but we're in a new studio and we have a special guest, Tabitha Godines.
Yes.
We are going to be talking a little bit about not really content, but something content creators actually struggle with. This topic, and I don't even know if it's an illness.
People say it's like a form of autism, right? Don't they
I was
say
looking it up.
They
It's saying it
say
has
that.
autistic traits.
Right.
So
it's mental.
the
It's
topic
mental.
today is ADHD, and both Tabitha and me have it.
Yes.
I'm 44, and it took me almost 10 years to kind of self-medicate or self-train habits to focus. We're going to get into her story, and we're going to get into sort of the struggles of ADHD, and I think more so how we can help people by sharing our story and being super vulnerable today.
Yes.
So we're just gonna be it's gonna be a therapy session.
100%.
Yeah. So Tabitha, tell the audience a little bit about yourself as far as your industry, and we can talk about the ADHD, but just tell the audience about where you're from, and how, if you want to disclose how old you are, you can. You don't have to.
I don't care.
And were you from Vegas originally, and just sort of your backstory?
Okay, so I am actually born and raised in Las Vegas. I went to LVA, Las Vegas Academy out here. It's a performing arts school. I left that and did early college, so that was pretty cool. And then I got into the mortgage industry on accident because I was manager at Starbucks, and this guy came into Starbucks all the time. He's like, "You're here at 5 a.m. Why are you here so early?" And I'm like, "Well, because I am the manager." He's like, "So you're so young." Well, I'm hiring right now at my company for an assistant.
Wow.
And so I just left Starbucks. I was in college to do PR. I finished with my associates doing PR, but then I started doing loans. I loved it. So I started super young.
So how long have you been doing finance and
12
mortgage?
12 years now.
12 years. Mm-hmm. So you went straight out of college into the finance industry. Yeah. So what year was that?
It was in 2012.
So right after the crash.
Yeah.
So right after the big economic crash in 2008, 2009, all these houses got foreclosed for people who still remember that time. And you went straight into the mortgage industry. Were you still doing paper?
It wasn't, no, we weren't still doing paper, but it was a little bit, it's not as streamlined as it is now. Let's just say that.
Got it.
It's way more streamlined now.
What did you love about that though?
I think, it's because my ADHD brain is why I love it. It's because it's so many guidelines are changing all the time. I'm constantly moving. It's a puzzle I have to figure out. It's so hard to get people qualified. People don't understand that. I have to read guidelines, look at programs. Not everyone fits into these boxes. So
you think your ADHD actually helps you process documents and
for sure.
attention to detail and all that stuff?
It helps me find solutions. I don't want to give up. I'm going to find a solution to get this person qualified.
Do you get a little neurotic on certain things? As far as just you'll go down rabbit holes? Give me an example of a bad ADHD for Tabitha.
Me, if I can't get someone a joke at my branch is if I can't get them approved, no one can, because I will literally go through every different scenario and every different what if we did this, what if we do that, send that to the underwriter and exhaust all options. So that's my rabbit hole is no, what if I just try to find a loophole to everything and so that's
Is your ADHD going a little crazy right now?
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm sitting
all these
still.
Bright lights and stuff.
It is. It's overstimulating.
Well, part of ADHD is fidgeting, restlessness. I'm trying. I have sweaty hands, and that's how I'm probably dealing with it. But I'm really focusing on not to fidget.
I'm turning on
or
the
touch
chair.
my face. Sometimes I'll touch my face and just move, So
I have a thing with my thumb where I'm always
oral fixation. I have gum. That's a thing with ADHD. So I chew gum,
So you know what I do? Because gum kind of freaks me out. I'm having it in my mouth too long, high chews. So when I'm stressed on a bile or I'm at work, I have a whole thing of high chews and I'll just be it helps me think.
Like a fidget spinner.
Yeah,
a fidget spinner.
Weird.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not doing this thing. Some people do this.
No, I'm turning. So, yeah.
Oh, no, the little feet thing?
Oh, yeah,
when people are little,
I do that sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm conscious of trying not to do that.
Yeah. So you did mortgage. So you've done it for 12 years, and you still like it after 12 years.
I'm obsessed with that. I love it.
Wow.
I can see myself doing anything else.
That's
like,
awesome.
I love dogs, so if I can like open some kind of dog thing, I would do that.
Well, part of like, I'm 44 and I've like been super financially stupid until like 38. I was bankrupt at 38.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. A lot of people are like that.
But I always think it's never too late, because in 4 years I was able to buy, in 2 years after bankruptcy, I was able to buy a house and get my shit together. I think being in the industry so young, has that helped you with like just finances and just getting your shit together, and people your age? Because like people in their 30s are just now just buying houses, right? Like the millennials are like, this is their time.
Right, yeah.
So do you see people, your peers sort of look into like, hey, what's Tabitha doing? How is she doing that? Do you get like, are you more in like an advisor role now?
I feel like I am, because like I bought my house when I was 26. Like I learned about like investing in like 401ks and like Roth IRAs and like life insurance policies and all of that at a younger age, because I like saw all these wealthy clients. Like I'm like, how did you guys do this, right? And like I see in like how, this person's credit's messed up. Do not do that. Like credit's everything. I see how credit can affect your interest rates on everything. So I think it helped me, because I was pretty messed up by the time I was already 21. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I was like late on credit cards and things, and like it's just because I was just young and dumb, And
you don't seem like, and this is a compliment, and don't take it bad, you don't seem like a normal finance person. Like
thanks.
Most people in finance are very like boring and stiff and like just like kind of like, what do you call it? Basic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, and so this is where I'm getting at. Being ADHD, are you creative?
Yeah.
So that probably propels you and puts you on this like higher level of just being able to do things really quick and just being able to go boom, 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 and think of creative ways that normal people, and I'm going to say normal people, sorry, that don't have ADHD, does that put you sort of like on a, I don't want to say superpower edge, but like sort of like just in a different plane?
Well, honestly, it's funny that you said that, because yesterday I was talking to my branch manager and I was like obsessing on this file, and he's like, don't worry, if you can't get it done, no one else can, because you're so creative. He used that word. He's like on getting like structuring loans and stuff. So I think it does. And then I was like talking to some coworkers and like, I can't get this person approved. I'm like, why don't you try this? And they're like, we wouldn't even think of that. But I am creative when it comes. It does help me.
For some people who do not understand what ADHD is, what are your sort of symptoms? And you can go first, or I can go first.
You go first. Yeah. Okay. I want to know what yours are.
Compulsive creative. Like I literally wake up at like 6:35, whatever, and like it's on. Like I'll have my routine. I'll like fast. I'll do breathing, exercise, water, and then I'll just be in the mode of creating. Like it's literally like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I can do like 100 fucking things in a day. And I'm exhausted by the end of the day, but I'm still like exhausted, and it's 12 o'clock, and I'm like, fuck, I can still keep going. Yeah. So I used to be an artist, so I used to be really prolific. So I would just like compulsively create.
I love that.
And this is this version now. So that's one of them. But the downside of it is in my 20s, before I got sober, I'm 10 years sober, I couldn't even hold a conversation.
Yeah.
Like I was so ADHD that this is miles and like leaps and bounds for me right now to be able to sit here and have a podcast. I'm like, fuck, before I couldn't even, so good. Well, I couldn't even do that before. Yeah. So those are two things, and then you share this time.
So honestly, what you said, so I'm like, I don't know if this is the ADHD thing, if it's other people, I'm wake up at 5, ready to go. Like I'm like, people used to call me, I'm like the Energizer Bunny, right? But I need to have a routine. So like I have to wake up, I go to the gym by 6, like I journal. Like if I get out of my routine, it kind of messes me up though, because then I feel like all out of bounds, and then I'm all over the place. You know what I mean? So like putting that structure in my life, like I didn't realize that I needed that to like be organized, is having like, this is what you're doing today, or else my mind will be like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, then I'm gonna do that, and then I'm like halfway throughout the day, like I do a million things, but it's not in the order it should have been done, and it's all over the place.
So you said you had a routine, and the reason why we connected is because you posted a story about an organizer, and you're like, this is what I do, and you were actually pretty vulnerable in that story, saying I have ADHD and this is how I get my shit together. How did you, and you said like a couple years ago is when you got diagnosed. Can you talk about how that, like what made you kind of Realize it, yeah.
Because, well, first of all, I mean, like, okay, well, I want other people to, when I'm talking, having a conversation, I'll jump to something else, and like they would just note, like, do you have ADHD? And then people at work would ask me too. So I finally just went into a therapist and got diagnosed. But I do notice, like, I'm not normal, like, not okay. I'm just different than other people.
Sure.
And I used to be so.
It's not a bad thing.
And I used to try to, they say masking. So I was always like, okay, I need to try to fit in with everyone. You know what I mean? Like, and like, but now it's like I embrace how I am and how my ADHD actually makes me more successful. So like, I should, like, I've learned to embrace it and then use it to my advantage.
Can you share what went on in the therapy session? Like, what did they say?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, they ask you like a bunch of questions, like, do you know, like when you're in conversation, like, do you interrupt a lot, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm constantly interrupting, right? Because I'm always like,
it's going to be hard to edit this podcast. This is not even actually going to be edited. It's literally we're actually going to post this like as is. Yeah.
But, so then, and they make you do this, like, it's called a Condol test. And then like, it was like the worst test ever. So like, they show like, it's X's and then like, you have to press the space bar time and X's, like, putting on the screen.
What kind of what is it called?
It's called the Condol test, I believe. Yeah, don't quote me, but like I've taken it a couple times. But it's just basically like it's a half an hour test, and you have to like press the like space button when you see an X, and they make it so you're like
it's like the eye test. It's like the eye test when you're doing like
like you have to pay attention, and like it's
so
just
do you fail it?
I didn't do that good on it. I failed it. Then I did it when I was like on like they put me on medicine. And then I did a little bit better, but then they realized that I have problems like with focusing, staying focused. So that's my problem. Like something will jump up and I'll be like, and I see that with emails. I'll see an email and then I'll go into like do something else. And then I'm like, oh my God, no, I was doing that. So I set timers. I'm like, and then it reminds me, like my actual therapist told me that she's like, okay, say you're gonna like do laundry. So set a timer, like in half an hour, like say I'm like, Alexa, remind me I'm doing laundry. So I'll start to do laundry.
So you forget stuff.
Like, I forget stuff. Like, because I'll jump to something else. I'm like, oh, no, I need to go wipe down the counter. And I'm like, crap, I was supposed to be doing laundry. So Alexa will go off being like, go do laundry. Like, where's laundry? Like, oh, crap, I'm not doing laundry. And that kind of helps me, like, go back to that.
You were late today. Was that because of the ADHD?
Probably.
Because you lost track of time? Because a lot of that is time management. I have a really good friend, and she is chronically late, she has a lot. Her ADHD is pretty bad, and she just has a hard time. Time management.
So that's why I have to try to live on that planner and stuff for work. I live on my calendar because if not, like it's hard.
Is it just certain aspects though? Like you said on the loan side.
I'm great.
You crush it.
Yeah, crush it
because it's structured, right?
Yes.
You have like things to do. You have to do qualifications, credits, blah blah blah, and they're always in order, right?
Exactly.
But life is not in order.
That's the problem. So today I was like working and I'm like, okay, I need to get this work done, but I have this podcast to do. But it's like, I'm like so focused on getting this like loan disclosed. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's time to go. Like I should have left half an hour ago. But
yeah,
you know
we canceled like 3 times.
Yeah, we did.
Finally made it. I was like, I'm
making it. I'm not canceling this time.
Me too. I was like, I'm almost going to cancel, but I'm not going to.
No, we're not canceling. That's why I was like, nope, I'll be there. Like, even though I know I had a crazy day today, I'm like, I'm still going to come.
So it's more so the disorganization and the chaos of life that kind of throws you into your ADHD, huh?
Yeah.
And then, so your fix is I have a planner, I have routines.
Yeah.
What other tips do you like?
I mean,
how do you stop interrupting?
It's hard. That I haven't figured out.
I'm asking for a friend.
I don't know how to handle that yet. Like, or tell them stories, like try to relate. You know, I'm talking about myself all the time, but it's like that's how like. I'm like, oh no, I get how you're feeling because I have this story about me that's like the story you just told me, and I do that all the time.
Yeah. For a weird thing with me is I've been a video editor since I was 24. I'm 44. I got sober, stopped drinking at 33, and then that's when I started really working on it. And I would put, I didn't have hand tattoos at the time. I would put the word focus on in Sharpie all over, and I would put little notes around the house, like
I love that.
Post-it notes, like turn off the stove.
That's funny.
Yeah, like, do this, do that. And I would just like...
I've done that, left the water on.
It's like a dog like barking. You have to constantly like slap it. And so that's why I was like, how do I fix this thing? Because it's like kind of crippling to not have a conversation. You know,
Yeah.
I would leave mid conversation.
You would not.
I would just leave.
Okay, I'm not that bad.
I would just leave mid conversation.
Yo, so you don't know what like version you have, I guess, right?
I mean, I don't know. I would just like be talking to somebody and just straight up leave.
That's funny. Do you just get bored of the conversation? You forget you're talking to them.
It's almost like you can't control it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And then in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I just left that conversation. But I wouldn't even realize that until like 10 years later. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I left that conversation to go talk to this person, you know?
That's
and
funny.
and I can't even imagine my friends that had dealt with me because none of them really have ADHD. My business partner now, Stuart, I've known him for 15 years. He doesn't have it. And so that's why we're business partners because I'm like, I'm going to be more on the sales side where I can go chat and be a hummingbird and, you know, execute, blah, blah, blah. And he likes to be behind the scenes and like integrate and do all that stuff. So I'm kind of like the visionary. He's sort of the integration. He hates people. So he's just like, let me do the boring shit, you know? So that's why, I mean, I wouldn't be a business without him. So that, and he doesn't have ADHD. So I always ask him, how is it living with someone like this? And he's like, you know, honestly, you've gotten so much better in 10 years because right now, I think because of social media and the internet, I think everyone has a mild case of it because of their attention. Yeah. People's attention span is like, are like super small now with, especially with like content, right? Yeah. Like if you think about content, you're just scrolling every 7 seconds. So you're, you know, I can't even imagine the next generation of kids. They're
going to be like all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of them have ADHD.
My younger sister's like that. She does what you do. Like mid-conversation, I'm talking to her. And I'm like, I was talking to you. And like she starts having like conversation with her son. I'm like, we were talking. Like, do you forget that? I was like, you didn't answer me. You just like didn't even say anything. So
she just leaves.
She literally just leaves. And I'm like, where are you going?
Does it run in your family?
I think it does, yeah. My mom, I noticed it with I just thought my mom was chaos. Like, I always like, my mom's chaotic. She's all over the place, right? And she's chronically late all the time. Like, I used to lie to her, like, hey, cheer practice is out at 6 when it was really done at like 5.
So she can...
exactly. Like, or like tell her opposite time so she'd be early. But no, yeah. And then I see it in my mom and then my younger sister, I see it a lot. But my other 2 sisters, I don't think they
how many sisters do you have?
I have 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, wow. So, I had some notes.
Yeah, where's your phone?
What do you think the worst part of it is? Like, have you struggled with like depression and anxiety?
Well, I have a lot of anxiety because I feel like I get OCD about certain things, right? And
like making problems that are like in your head?
Like in my head. And I think
scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Like, I have that issue too. Like I'll like be dating somebody and go through entire situations that are fucking not even real.
They're not even real, but you're like in your head, you're like, it feels like it's real.
I've done this.
Yes.
What if this happens? What if that happens? Then I gotta like... You know, what if she doesn't like the way I sleep and dumb shit like that? And like, you know what I mean? Like just really neurotic rabbit hole shit that I'm like, this is why I'm single. This, type of thing,
That's funny.
right?
I just got in a relationship 6 months ago and I was single for like 5-6 years almost. So
does he have ADHD?
No.
So you guys balance each other out?
We balance each other out. Like, I'm like, it's overwhelming sometimes with my ADHD. I feel like I get stressed very fast because I'm missing stuff or whatever. And he's like, it's nice. He's like, no, I got this all taken care of.
That's good.
Okay,
yeah, because if you both had it, you'd be in trouble.
Like, it'd be bad.
And so, okay, so let's talk about that. What about some older relationships? Have you had any issues with like your own like... It's a lot to do with your own self anyway, right?
Well, it is, but one of my exes, like, we're actually still good friends, but, like, he's, like, your mind is, like, he's complete opposite of ADHD. He's, like, very just, like, by the book, like, perfect on time, like, organized, like, knows where everything's at all the time, right? Me, like, it drove him crazy. Like, I drove him crazy. Like, he's, like, you forgot to close this cabinet, or you've like, and it's just like, like all little things, and like it would literally, I forgot to put the cap on the toothpaste, or little stuff like I would do, and we ended up breaking up because he's like, I can't deal with like how your mind. He goes, your mind is so interesting to me, but I cannot. Like he couldn't deal with it.
It's like that perfect mind thing, or with the numbers and the formulas. Yeah. I laughed because you said the kitchen cabinets. So when I'm in the kitchen. Every fucking thing is open. And like, my roommate Stuart, who is my business partner, goes, I know when Rob's in the kitchen because he's like closing all the fucking everything. It's like, it's a disaster, but
I don't know why we're like that. Like, it's just, because it's like, I think we forget what we're doing and then we just go do the next thing.
I'm aware of it.
I know. I literally am like, oh crap, I left that open.
See, I'm aware of it. And I think now as I got older, I'm just like, I'll just embrace it. So now during the day, like from like 9 to like 5 or 6, I'm super focused. I'm trying to like stay focused. I'm like literally like training my brain to like stay focused all day long. And then when it comes to 6 p.m., I clock out and unleash the monster. And it's just like,
I feel about work.
My roommate calls me like day man because in the day I'm like structured.
Yes.
And then at night he's like punching bag. Golf thing in the living room. There's a basketball over here.
Devils,
yeah,
they told me, like,
his room is like, my room is fucking chaotic with all this gear. It's just like, and I told him the other day, it's because I've sort of trained my body to like be focused during the day and then I kind of unleash it.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it's hard for us to really focus, right?
Yes.
So it's like, if we're like putting all this energy into really focusing, because that's what I do for work. And like, yeah, my other life.
In a way, you're kind of like kind of not being the true version of yourself in normal business world.
Right.
Especially if you're in business, right? Because like our career, like I'm in the real estate industry on the marketing side. Yeah. So I do have to be very like, structured. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think directing even helps me because I direct clients, helps me with my ADHD because I'm now trying to direct organization. I have to organize. So that kind of keeps me in check too. But yeah, at night it's fucking nuts.
That's how I am.
Like I lose all inhibition sometimes. It's just like laundry, boom, boom.
Me
boom,
too.
Boom,
and it's
boom. And it's just like, fuck, now I gotta clean this shit up. What the fuck?
And it's like, why am I like so drained? Yeah, it's like I'm so drained from work. It's like, and that's what I used to explain to my ex. We used to fight. And he's like, you're only good at one thing, doing loans. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably like explode, clothes explode everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like, I need to be my real self.
Yes. Yes.
She's laughing.
Because it's so true. Like,
yes. Tabitha and I have never met, but we're like BFFs already because it's like we have this like ADHD connection. Mm-hmm. I was reading before you got here that at least 5 to 10% of the population have it. So it's not a huge percent of people that have ADHD.
Right.
So it's weird to come across.
Do you think millennials have it a lot more?
I think so. I think even like Gen, what's the other one? Gen X?
Is it Gen Alphas or is that Zs? Or?
Z's like my nephew and niece. They're like 15 or 16.
Okay.
But they actually don't have it as
That's
much.
what I'm saying. My sister, she's that, and she doesn't have it. She's more structured, more organized.
Like the Gen, what do you call it? The Gen Z? Yeah, Gen Z. They're just kind of just like stoic. Yeah. They're stoic. Yes. They're just, this is Gen Z. Yeah. They're just like, they're just like zombies. Like,
that's so true. That's
fucking A. Can you fucking laugh for a second? Jesus Christ. No.
They're like so serious.
Okay. Yeah. But I think that may just be a teenager, right? You're just too cool for school to actually emote.
I'm like, my sister's 21 and she kind of acts like that. So.
Your sister's 21? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your youngest sister?
The youngest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a Gen Z.
She's a Gen Z.
And after them is Gen A, which is Alpha, which is like craziness to me. That we're
that's what I think they're going to have more ADHD because they have more stimulation. I feel like.
Yeah.
The most, more than, we didn't though. We had dial-up internet and like.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Like, right? Like, yeah.
I
didn't even have a phone until I was in high school. Like, and it was like.
We're the last to pick up a dial-up phone, for sure. What do you think, did you struggle in school with it when you were like in your teens?
I didn't notice that. It made sense because the subjects I was super interested in, I excelled at. The other ones I didn't. I've cheated a lot, just so put that out there. I was really good at figuring out how to
I cheated a lot
to still pass. But
I did,
so no, I realized that even in college, like I would excel at the classes I was interested in, the ones I didn't. I paid some people to take classes for me in college. Like,
what was your best cheating method?
I don't even remember.
I used to have girls do homework for me. I was like, can you
there you go. Yeah.
I would just not show up. And I would forge my mom's signature. I got really good at like
I got kicked out of LVA because of that.
Forging signature?
Because me and my sister both forged our parents' signature. And the dean calls us and they're like, this is different signatures. I'm like, but our mom actually told us that we can put it on there. And they called my mom. She said I did, but she gave me detention for the rest of the year. So that's when I left and did early college. Because I'm like, I'm not going to sit in detention for the rest of the year.
Did you have, I remember like really young, like elementary, like being like kind of making up stories and lying.
You
do
did?
that?
No, I didn't make up stories.
I would make up like fake, like weird scenarios. and
Really?
shit. Yeah. Of like, yeah, I used to do this and do that. I'm like, nothing remotely close to that has ever happened.
I was nerdy in like elementary school. Like
Okay.
I was super into
Were you
like
straight A student?
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was like nerdy. Like I was like super about, but then my friends would be like at recess, you act like the psycho wild person. So it would make sense now that you said that. Like maybe I was like super focused and then I was unleashing this crazy side because they're like, you're completely different. I remember them always saying that.
Yeah. Like, how has therapy, how long have you been in? How's that helped?
So it's been good. I have 2 different therapists, one for ADHD and one for a regular. But it's good because like they like put structures in my life and give me things like they give me that timer thing to do. She's the one that told me like planners are like really good for people like writing things down like mentally. Like
yeah, I have like a list of things.
I have a list of everything.
Do
like
you
have to
go by your calendar a lot too? Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
like I have to put it in my calendar.
Yeah,
Like,
I won't do it if it's not.
yeah, exactly. I'll
For sure.
forget. Like, or then actually my memory's pretty good, but then it's like. It's not I don't know. I have to be in my calendar. Just
What about medication? What do they
They give me Adderall, but I don't really like taking Adderall. I take it when I'm busy at work.
What happens when you do that?
I feel like I get anxiety. Like, if I have a busy day, I will take it. But I feel like it makes me anxious, like, sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Like, sometimes I feel anxious.
Is this supposed to calm you down, though? What
Yeah.
does Adderall do?
Yeah, Adderall makes you focus. It makes so
Okay.
the hyper focus. It does make you focus, but it is still medicine that you're putting in your body. So I feel like sometimes like it just makes you feel like a little anxious.
What were the sort of the bad? Like, let's go back to the sort of the depression aspect, because I was super depressed in my 20s when my dad died and I started drinking. I was an alcoholic for a long time and I quit that. But I feel like those times I don't even remember I wasn't aware of it, I guess. I wasn't aware that I was ADHD. I've always just been super like bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
And sort of like, as a kid, they were like, oh, he's just a hyper kid, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, I don't think even back in the day they knew what it was.
They really knew it. Yeah. I mean, I grew up drinking espresso for breakfast because I grew up Italian. So I would have Cheerios and I feel like coffee helps people. Like, I drink caffeine to make me focus, right? So I think it actually helped me when I was younger. So I didn't really notice it as much, right? Because I was
You still drink coffee today?
I still drink coffee today.
I love coffee.
Yeah, but it's everything else is like self-medicating. So like that's what like helped me when I was younger. Really? Yeah.
What do you think, like what would be sort of your advice to kids now? Like how would you, like, I have my own advice.
Well,
how
like
let's just say in your industry, right? You're in the mortgage industry. I'm in the video side. What would you tell people, like, what you've learned from it? I don't know if you can
Well, because the whole back to being depressing, I used to get, like, in my head about, like, how I wasn't like everyone else. Like, why can't I be more organized? Why can't I remember where my keys are? Like, my car got stolen, actually, 3 years ago because I left my key in my car, my spare key in my trunk, and my door open. So my car got stolen. So like little things like that, I'd get like.
I laugh because I'll tell you a story right after.
Yeah, so like it's like, go ahead. Do you have a story like that?
So I have a car. I've had this car for 2 years that's parked outside.
Okay.
It's a Honda HRV.
Okay.
Whatever. I thought that it auto locks when I walk away because I hear this beeping noise saying beep 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 beep. And in my head, I'm like, oh, the car's locking. And I've been on like 2-week trips where I've left my car in front of my house and like parking lots, wherever. Come to find out, like 2 weeks ago, that I didn't have my keys on me and I tried to open my car. I'm like, why is it open? Like, so I've literally been leaving my car unlocked with like thousands of dollars of computers, camera gear, and everything for 2 years. And I've just like, I don't know if that's the dyslexia in me or the ADHD, but it could be that. Or sometimes I'm just like in my head with certain things where this is what it is. I don't know if, being delusional comes with ADHD.
Yeah, like, I mean, maybe, but yeah, my car goes, and also because I feel like it's like, I'm not like, I feel like my life is like, it's harder for me to do things than everyone else. You feel like that? Like being like organized or like, is easier for other people, or being focused. I don't have to try so hard. Like, it's like I have to really try to focus on things.
Yeah, but also
I
think most of the people, here's my opinion, are slower.
Everybody
is like so slow in my opinion.
We're like 10 steps ahead of them.
Yeah, because I talk to people and they tell me like, I've just given them a fuckload of information, right? Like a masterclass in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I can see them trying to process at least one of these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I may have just unloaded on this person and they were probably not following. And I don't know if any of that was retained. So
Right.
like, that sort of defeats the purpose of having a conversation sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like with ADHD, it helps on the creation side because I can really like be prolific and like just pump out a bunch of content.
Right.
I can do thousands of videos. This is why I'm in this industry. And I'm like, but in normal
life,
day,
that's what I'm saying.
Life
stuff. Like it's like I feel like it's hard. Like life stuff's harder for us.
I feel like but I convinced myself that I'm better.
You know what? And also you have to find people that don't make you feel bad about it. That's what I'm realizing too. Is surround yourself with people that like your tribe, kind of. Don't judge.
Was that a problem for you? Did you feel? Because I've never had that problem because I have a big, like, I think personality, and I think they're just like,
I think
Rob's just being freaking loud. Rob's being loud. I'm also loud. So
my friend group, no. Like, I have my friend, like, I have friends forever, born and raised here, right? Like, I have my friend group, but no, like, relationships, like, some boyfriends, I feel like it's been a problem.
Because you're just, like, speed-wise, you're just, like, going 100 miles
exactly.
an hour.
Like, they want me to slow down. Like, don't lose your keys every 10 minutes. Like, like.
And for us, it's just like, okay, we're just normal shit, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that way though? People are just slow.
I do feel that way. Like, it's like, or like, I'm like, get to the point. Have you ever been talking to someone and they're like,
get the fucking go.
Like, what's bullet points? Like, I need bullet points. Yes.
So
like,
are you also very honest with people? Because I'm brutally honest. I will tell somebody, like a new client, hey, your content sucks. Let's do that again. Let's do this. And, that's why they kind of come to me is like, honesty is something that maybe it's just something my parents instilled into me. But I feel like it could be a lot for people when I like brutally honest, and it's a lot of things. And it almost feels like nagging. Like I'm nagging when I'm brutally honest. Sometimes it feels like, it's almost, I feel like I'm bullying them sometimes. I'm like, I'm not trying to bully you. I'm just telling you like 20 things.
I mean, you're just trying to make them better. Yeah.
Well, I'm also telling you 20 things at the same time that are not good. You're not going to like them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, do you feel that you've lost friends and relationships because of that side of the ADHD about like just being
super honest?
Yeah, just being super honest, or just being straight to the point, or just being like, hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not, it's crazy because I'm not patient at all. Like I'm very impatient. Like, so it's like, but I want them to be patient with me. So it's kind of like.
Double standard.
Yeah, double standard. So, and then I am brutally honest, but that's what would bug me because in the beginning of relationships, I'm like, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I feel about you, like, blah, blah, blah. And like, then they're like, they maybe think they could change me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all over the place. I'm like this. And they're like, well, they think they can make me into something I'm not. And
so let's go on that flip side.
Yeah.
Do you think, with your ADHD, and this is speaking, because I used to do this, I thought I could fix people.
Oh, yeah. I called it the broken pigeon syndrome. Like, that's what I used to call it. Like, find a little bird with the wings broken and I can make them fly.
Like, I used to date chronically broken women.
Me too. Yes. Like, I'm like,
I still kind of do that, but.
Nah, you gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, I gotta stop it.
You gotta stop doing that.
But they're just so much fun.
I know. They're projects.
So, okay, let's sit on that topic for a bit because I feel like that's some real shit people can relate to. Like, ADHD. I in my 20s was like, I need to go to this crazy type of woman where they were broken, I could fix them, and they needed me, and blah, blah, blah. And that just was, I knew what the outcome was, but I still continued to do it because it was fun. Most of the time I was also drinking, and I thought it was like, hey, this is a fun adventure. Yeah. Because we need stimulation, right? Yeah. So we need we can't date boring people. No. Right? So we need to be like, craziness, fire, explosions, shrinking, craziness. In my 40s, I've turned it around and I'm like, okay, I need a little bit of just
stability.
I think I'm tired. You know what I mean? I'm
I'm
middle-aged and I'm like, I can't handle that anymore because I'm still working on some shit for me, you know? Like,
right.
So was that like an issue for you? Was like a broken pigeon syndrome where
like all the time.
I need to fix things?
Always,
and especially
like,
being a woman, you're already sort of nurturing anyway. Is that like something you just kind of struggled with?
I did, and then I realized, I did it. I supported a couple boyfriends in my early 20s, right? And like financially support them. And like, I don't know, I was just like over, I couldn't fix them. Like, I'm like trying to like, first I'm financially supporting them, and then I'm trying to give them tips and like,
life
hey,
tips.
you should do this to like get your life together. And like, you know, and it's just like, I'm wasting my time. Like, I could be putting this into me and like growing as a person versus like, you know, dealing with this. So I stopped. So then I just took a break from that. I did date a lot, right? But I was like, didn't want to have commitment issues. I didn't want to settle down. I did. I was like, I want to be single. Like I still have commitment issues. Yes. Well, you know, you have tattoos. I don't have one because I can't commit to a tattoo even. Yeah. So like it was pretty bad. But then finally I met someone that like it just clicked. And like now we're together.
How did you meet this person?
I did an emotional intelligence class 7 years ago.
What is that?
It's insane. They like lock you in a room like from like, it's like 3 weekends. Like it's actually 6 weekends, but the first or 3, and then they lock you in a room. They have a psychologist basically come in, like
who's they?
It's choice
the police?
No, you sign up for it. You pay money to go to this course. It's a lot of money.
This is an emotional. Say it again.
Emotional intelligence course.
Okay, so you pay money for this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How do I go about finding this?
It's I can send you the link. It's in Vegas. It's on Instagram.
Okay, so you go to it,
yeah.
and then it's like a workshop.
It's a workshop.
Personal development
workshop. Yeah.
Okay, so you go to do that, and you did that.
I did that. I met the guy that I'm dating. He was married at the time. I had my boyfriend that I was trying to fix at the time. But he reached out to me on Facebook last year, and I was like, oh, he was a realtor. So I was like, what's up? Do you need like a loan? Like I haven't heard from you in like 7 years.
So you're trying to get his business? Yep.
No, I wasn't trying. Like I didn't want his business. Like I was just like, are you like wanting a loan? But no, he's like, I just seeing how you're doing. I'm like, how's the wife? How's the kids? He's like, no more wife. The kids are good. And I was like, oh, okay. So
like, that's my in right
I thought he was really cute when I first met him, and I'm like, this can't be true.
Okay, and then and he's not broken.
He's not
because
broken.
he was in that class with you.
He was in that class with me, and he's 10 years older than me. And
what industry does he work in?
He's a realtor.
Oh, he's a realtor. You just said that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have ADHD. How does he complement you now that you've been in sort of the fix-it relationship, broken pigeon relationship to somebody who's kind of normal?
Kind of normal. Yeah. I feel like he like.
Or normal.
Yeah, we're normal.
What's his name?
Tyler.
Tyler, sorry.
No, but he like helps me with a lot of things. Like he like helps me be organized. Like last week we did like it's like laundry week, and like he helped me get all my laundry reorganized. Like and I'm like I don't want to I want to do something else, you know. And he's like, no, we're doing this, and like he like maybe like I'm bored of doing this. I'm bored of folding this laundry. Like
wow, but that's what normal people do, huh?
Right?
I'm gonna do one thing for
right. I know. I'm like this is driving me crazy, but yeah. So he kind of like helps me, like brings me back to reality, and he doesn't judge me. That's the biggest thing. He lets me be me, and he thinks that he loves how I am.
Yeah, I think maybe that's important because I've stayed almost single my entire life or just dated like very superficial.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm very like particular with my space, especially as a creator. I'm like, I even say, if I ever have a woman in my life, she would have to have her own house. That's funny.
So I told him that, and he said, that's not going to happen. I was like
literally, mine would be in fucking mess and like my creation space. Yeah. And I'm like, you can have your own house next to mine. I will go there when I'm done. And you can have it clean, you can have it stuff.
So funny.
And then mine will be paint on the walls and some crazy shit and like just, Rob going like mad, right? Like mad scientist. People call it like manic energy for me. People used to call me very manic. Okay. Like mad scientist type of shit. So I'm like, if that would be the condition, I want to make enough money to buy 2 houses back to back. Maybe like it's just going to be a nice 5,000 square foot house. Half of it's mine.
That's funny. So I give him my own bag. We don't live together or anything like that. But I always said, I'm like, if we ever move in together, like I want to have keep a condo that's empty that I can go to. That's just because,
because you need that like
little, my own little space where it's like
space for sure.
Where it's like could be messy and whatever and and chaotic and I don't know. And then I feel comfortable on that little thing. And like, I don't.
What is his reaction to that?
He's like, we're not doing that. You can have a room. I'm like, fine.
I was dead serious about it though. I'm literally like, that is a condition. If we're good enough to do that, like, why not? Because it's like, it'll keep me sane. It'll keep the relationship in balance.
Maybe I'll have a guest house.
Even that, even like a big ADU, a casita, whatever.
Yeah,
like just something
and then I
like,
could go like have my music stuff in there. And just,
I mean,
like,
this is why I have like a studio outside of our other place, is because I need sort of like
hang out my
craziness
dog.
time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, so talk about sort of the anxiety though. What do you, with anxiety, what comes, I guess, what are the feelings or what are you thinking when you have anxiety?
Well, because like, I mean, so I'm in the mortgage industry, right? That it's a lot. Like you deal with a lot, especially I'm really busy right now. But like I get anxiety when I know my anxiety comes from being overwhelmed. So when I have like this whole list and I didn't get this list done, like then I'm like, it's like I can't stop thinking about it. Like obsessed on it.
Oh, like hitting your goals.
Like hitting my goals.
So
yeah.
You get anxious from problems, like you're getting anxious right now.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about this stuff.
So I feel like Tabitha wants to go. So I'm like, all right, we go. No, so like basically you don't have enough time.
Yes.
Anxious for time.
Yes.
Management.
I feel like I don't have enough time to get stuff done.
Do you worry about the next day already?
Oh, at night.
You do?
Sometimes I don't sleep well because I'm already thinking about all the crap I have to do to like the next day. Yeah.
Do you take magnesium?
I've been taking magnesium.
Yeah, it's good. I've been doing
It's been
it.
helping
You get crazy
me.
dreams though.
I know. Yeah, I had a psycho dream last night. It was crazy.
Some crazy magnesium dreams. So you get anxious from things that are like, A, like not being able to accomplish goals, and B, like future stuff.
Yeah, future stuff.
And then you said like, how are you on road trips with the ADHD? Like, do you?
I hate road trips. I
do too.
The car.
I don't like traveling. I don't like flying. I'm like, can I just be there?
I know. I wish I could just teleport. Like I always say, that would be like my best thing to if I could just teleport.
I've said literally like when they invent teleportation, I'm the first person to sign up. Too. Or like anything that goes like speed traveling. But
I literally have to take anxiety medicine every time I fly.
Really?
I have to, yeah. Or else I will be sitting with the flight attendant. Do
you have irrational fears?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
We're deep diving with Tabitha.
I definitely do. Like, I mean, crazy things like, so I live alone, so sometimes like someone's gonna come in my house and like I'm like I go double check the doors, like 3 different. I'm like, I know I checked it,
we're
but
the same
like
person.
I check it 3 times just to make sure. Like
those doors today, I've locked like 3 times. I'm the same way. When I used to live alone, I would lock everything and just like make sure like if I'm going in the shower that the front doors are locked.
Yes. I am like irrational fear that someone's gonna come in. Like I sleep with this gun in a drawer, you know, like things like it's like I'm just like it's like I know no one's gonna do that.
I used to have like irrational bug fears, like bugs would crawl in my bed, and it actually came true one time that I was sleeping and a cockroach went.
Oh my gosh!
Fell in my hoodie, and I woke up and I was like, oh, it's one of your irrational fears.
It is not.
And I'm like, wait, there's actually something moving in my hoodie. I took off my hoodie and it was a big ass roach, and literally that next day I moved out of the
You did, I would too.
I moved out of the apartment. It was, but so irrational fears, right? So
I think someone's gonna be in the back of my car all the time. I'm always looking, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like I'm always looking in the back seat.
Has to do with the attention, because your mind goes in, like I think with ADHD, your mind travels really in places that it shouldn't go.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like one of the things that
like you said with the relationships, like you would go down a rabbit hole, like all those scenarios. Yeah, like
so with like irrational fears, you have somebody breaking in.
Yes.
What?
Someone be in the back.
I have a couple.
Someone be in the back of my car.
Back of your car.
Gonna slit my throat. I always think that someone's gonna slit my throat in the back of my car.
So do you carry mace?
No, I should. I used to carry a taser.
Do you know how to fight?
No.
So what happens when somebody slits your throat? All right. So irrational fears. What are the other ones?
I don't really think I mean, like, whenever I'm flying, I'm always thinking the plane's gonna crash, but it's like, just like my, like.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, like, I'm like, this is like.
We're like the same person. She's fucking freaking me out.
Yeah, it sucks. Like flights, I hate flights.
Yes.
I don't know. I always think about crazy car accidents aren't gonna happen.
Yes.
And I'm like this. I don't know why I'm thinking
Holy
this is gonna
shit.
happen.
Oh my God, you're freaking me out
like
because
I'm
there's like
creating
I'm
things.
sitting there in the car and these like it's just like boom, boom.
Yeah,
all this crazy stuff.
I don't know. Yeah.
So paranoia, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Do you smoke weed?
I do.
I used to get super paranoid. I stopped smoking weed like almost 15 years, but because I used to get super paranoid that somebody was gonna kill me, and I would actually get hallucinations and like see the devil and shit.
So I can't ever smoke the flower, like whatever, but I've smoked the pens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can, yeah.
Do you take
I would
CBD or anything or any of those like downers and stuff like that?
No, I don't.
So when you feel like you're getting anxious, what are your solutions? Do you like have to stop yourself?
I like to work out. So the biggest thing with ADHD that has happened is working out has helped me. That's why if I don't work out in the morning at 6 a.m., my whole day seems like it's not going to go well. Okay. So I work out 5 to 6 days a week, and that's helped me mentally with anxiety. So if I'm like feeling anxious, like I'll try to go to the gym and like do cardio for like 45 minutes, like running or something. It helps me like calm down, which is weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you get how's your relationship with food with ADHD?
Oh God.
Like I'll be super healthy for like I'll fast for 20 hours and then I'll like eat veggies and plant-based shit, and then I'll go down like a fast food binge or chocolates, and then like ice cream. I'll just go the opposite direction. And I feel like with ADHD, sometimes you go extreme. So that's why I ask you, like, what is your relationship?
So it's like either like that. So it's either like I'm perfect, like I'm like super I fast. So I usually don't eat until like lunchtime. I'm always fasting in the morning. I'm like try to not eat a lot of gluten. I like a lot of like vegetables and like fish and stuff like that. But then I feel like I like go into like this binge eating sometimes where I'm like binge eating like food, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing that, but yeah. So that's like, it's either like not enough food or too much food is my relationship with food. I realize it's so hard to be like right in the middle.
What would you say as far as like progress from being diagnosed to now? Do you think it's helped like 80%, 50%? Like
I think 80%.
Wow, that's huge.
Because it's like because now I can accept that my mind isn't. It's like I can accept it instead of trying to like be someone I'm not, if that makes sense. So it's like accept how I am and know that that's how my mind works, and put things in place to make my mind work the way I need it to work. And
you mentioned before you were like hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Because you were trying to be normal.
Yeah.
And that's where sort of the depression
came in, because I just felt like I'm like, why is everyone else like, why is it easier for them to be more organized, or why do they not forget things, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, why can't I, like, it's like I'm kind of like a perfectionist sometimes. I'm like, why can't I be like that? And so like, and then I didn't feel like enough.
Oh, like comparing yourself to other
always
people?
Comparing myself to other
people. And so therapy has helped you
a lot
kind of accept
who I am.
Accept it instead of fighting it.
Because I can accept it. So now if I know that, I can put things in place to like make myself better, you know?
Yeah. That's like a huge leap, 80% improvement, right?
It has been.
Do you think you'll ever be cured of it?
No.
No. Because you feel like it's in you, right?
It's in me. Yeah. It's naturally in me.
Wow.
And I only taking the medicine, so it's like...
You're not taking the medicine?
I take it if I have a huge busy day. Like I'm going like I need it. But it's like I don't like taking it. I don't believe in like...
bad for you.
I like natural things. So you know what I mean? It's really bad for your heart and stuff, so I don't want to take it.
So working out has helped you.
A lot.
Being organized has helped you. What are the things like having a person that in a relationship has helped you?
Has helped me a lot. Right? And then I'm like telling you like my calendar, like I have a habit tracker in my like just keeping track of like the things I want to get done each day and checking them off. Like having a checklist that I'm physically checking off has helped me too.
How do you sit down and do the checklist though? If you have ADHD?
It's for the month. So like I have like a habit tracker, and then I have a day. So then I have a day. So that the night before I'm writing down what I need to do that next day. So it's like I make that a thing in my routine.
Trying to put habits in place. For you.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I
drinking down the water.
Okay, I see. So
like,
you write that
down. Take my dog on a walk. Yeah, like I walk. That's
like everything.
Like every little thing. Like
Holy
I mean,
shit.
like not like there's only so many spaces, but I like I do like wake up at 5 a.m. Like I want to make sure I'm doing
Where's
all
your
this stuff.
thing? Is it here now?
I didn't bring it with me.
You didn't bring it? Oh, interesting.
I know.
Oh, Okay.
That helps. So that's what I would say. It's just have like, that helped me. It's just having like, and then you could see, oh, like this day my routine was off and this pillow what made me like, like get off track or whatever. So
what do you do with that list? You just kind of throw it away? Or
no,
just
it's in that planner that I was on my Instagram. I carry it around.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then going back to your relationship now, right? You said you met at this personal development class.
Mm-hmm.
What were those people around there? Like, would they all have ADHD?
No, they didn't. A lot of them were like super successful business people. Some were not. It was like a range of like successful business people out of college, people just trying to figure out their life, you know. Besides, maybe some people had it in there, but being in the emotional intelligence class, all it did is make you realize like that human connection is really important, and like that there's things deep down from our childhood that mess us up, and that's why we are a certain way we are, and that you need to forgive yourself, and it's cool.
Yeah, like childhood trauma is like a thing.
It's a thing that no one wants to talk about, you know? Like,
isn't it weird though that a lot of stuff, like I feel like at 44, like the version of me that was like 10 years old was not too far off as far as like the things you still do, like things you like, you know, like, you know what I mean? They just become different versions of that.
Exactly.
Like, I still I used to draw, but now it's this. And, like your fundamental years of growing up is really that, right? Because that's why if you get fucked up when you're young, that you're carrying on all those fucking traumas until the end of and you carry it on to different people, and you project all your insecurities, you project what you saw like with your parents and all that stuff. And
you create that, you create those situations because you go after those type of people. You know what I mean? You're recreating that instead of that's what it teaches you in the emotional intelligence. You're like, I don't need to live that same life. Like, I can recognize that that's what I went through, but I'm going to choose to be someone different.
So you didn't even that had nothing to do with ADHD. It was literally just like, why did you sign up?
My old boss, he's like, hey, he didn't even tell me what it was. He's like, this is going to help you get more business. That's what he told me. Oh, okay. And then I showed up and I'm in this room and like everyone's bawling their eyes out, telling you their deepest, darkest secrets. Like, it was crazy. It's the most intense course I ever took. I would recommend everyone do it.
Do you think you are a leader?
I like to believe so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am.
Because you don't like to follow, going to school, I was like completely anti-authority. Like, I was just like, I don't want to listen to this class. I don't care if I fail.
Why?
Yeah. So it makes sense that you're kind of an entrepreneur, basically, right? You are an entrepreneur. Yeah. Because you're a self-starter. Yeah, you kind of have your own schedule. Yep, you have to get your own business, your own thing. So that sort of makes sense.
I could never work for someone. I could never clock in and clock out. Like, that would drive me insane. No.
Because that's like prison chains.
Exactly. I'm like, no.
I've done that. I did it for in post-production. I was doing that for.
How did you feel?
It was miserable. I was depressed.
You were, right?
Because I was working for somebody. I was making them rich. It was college for me, though. I was learning all my skills to set up now. In hindsight, I'm glad I did it because I had the structure and work. It kind of gave me work ethic. Okay. Right? And it actually helped me cure my ADHD because I was forced to be in structure.
That's good.
I was hitting deadlines for network television.
Oh, that's cool.
I was doing movies and I had deadlines and structure. I had to be there at 9 or else you would be, but I fucking hated it.
I was do that when I was an assistant. I
hated it, but in hindsight, I'm like, shit, it helped a lot because it gave me a lot of mental structure that my parents didn't really give me, or school didn't give me, or my peers didn't give me, or just because I wouldn't listen to anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, if I didn't think it's gonna benefit me, I'm like, why do I need? I don't know. That's how I was.
It's almost like you're like a stubborn person.
Yeah.
And you're like it's my way or the highway type of thing, and then you have to learn the hard way.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's life, though. I feel like
oh god,
this is just a fun episode. What other things do you think before we wrap up? Do you have any questions for me?
So for you got sober, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said, so I still drink, right? But I don't drink crazy. But so do you think drinking affected your ADHD?
It helped, it masked a lot of reality for me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the ADHD was there, I was a functioning video editor for TV. I started to miss deadlines and stuff like that because the drinking got really bad towards the end.
Yeah.
But I was able to like learn and manage, or I would like hit deadlines for television shows. I was able to manage like 8 people. I was a manager for the video production company. I was able to do so many things. But I think deep down inside, I was like miserable because I think I was masking reality.
Okay.
You know, with the drinking. Because I feel here, and I just figured this out like 2 years ago.
Okay.
After 10 years of being sober, this is year 8, I had this realization of, fuck, I hated being around people. That's why I drink.
It's like a social thing.
Yeah. I was like, the reason why I went to the bar and started pounding drinks.
Because you were trying to like...
was A, I didn't like myself.
Yeah.
And B, I didn't like to be around people because I didn't like myself.
Right, yeah.
So it was like kind of a thing, you know? Now, like, I feel like I'm happy where I am as a person. And I've kind of worked through my childhood trauma just by like doing art and video and all that stuff and just working through it and self-medicating and just getting older, I think. But it was really, it wasn't more so ADHD, it was more so just like self-worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You looked at yourself, you'll look at your, like people will look at themselves in a certain way. And I think like the most dangerous thing I used to do was like lie to myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like that gets fucking scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like we have a creative mind and you can totally skew it.
You can totally make yourself believe you are someone you're not, right?
Yes.
No, I've done that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now I need to be honest with
and
myself.
it comes, and that's a combination of maturity and just being able to like actually understand like the world.
Exactly. And be okay.
Or like sometimes I get, you know what I mean? I feel like being hyperactive, you're just like, your thoughts are running. I guess I can describe ADHD as like your thoughts are running like 10,000 miles an hour and you can't physically, like right now I'm struggling to make a sentence right now. So you can't physically take it out. Like
I get you.
You know what I mean? She gets it.
I get it.
You guys got it. But
there's like a million things going on in your head.
Like it's just like thousands of like just like it's just like a jet train.
Dude, sometimes someone will look at me and like they'll be talking to me and like
you're like, is she crazy?
Because I guess I won't even be like, but I'm like having a whole other conversation in my head. Like I don't leave.
So you have multiple.
Like I have like I'm like and they're like, all right, hello. Like, but I'm like thinking about something that's weird. I zone out.
Let's talk about lying to yourself. What are sort of those things that you had as far as examples?
Let me think.
You don't have to get that crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I like wouldn't be honest with myself about what the type of person, who I was being. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was partying a lot.
Like I was trying to fit into.
Yeah. I was trying to fit into what everyone else, how everyone else is. Like, I'm so organized and on time all the time. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not. Like, stop telling yourself that.
It's I think moral of the story for you and everyone else out there too is just like accepting who you are too. I think right now too, people are so like accepting of like people's flaws and stuff like that it's not like you don't really have to feel ashamed anymore.
Yeah,
right?
be vulnerable. Know? Like that's the thing I learned in emotional intelligence classes. Like that's something I struggled with, and after that, I was able to do that more.
Do you think it's also a generational thing too, and the times have just changed? Because I remember my parents and the parents before, like they were very like brush it off to the side. Nah, you guys, you're just this, or blah blah blah.
Yeah,
you're just crazy. He's just hyper. Blah blah blah. Don't worry about it. Do this. Do that.
No, we're deep digging and like we're trying to find out why we are the way we are. But like our parents didn't figure that out.
Even want to.
They don't care. Like they're like whatever.
Want to figure it out. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, cool.
Yeah,
Tabitha.
That's a cool episode.
Thank you. Yeah. This is. We didn't really talk about content, but I feel like this would help a lot of content creators to get their life together.
You can do it.
Yeah, or even just like anyone in the industry or anybody struggling with ADHD. Hopefully this has helped you. And let us actually know in the comments what crazy ADHD stories you have, because I have a couple. I feel like we need a part 2 to go into the story part of things, because there was some crazy shit I used to do.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.